Our story begins with a heavy, somber scene, a funeral. It was the funeral for the wife of the richest man in France. His young son, Alex, stood there in total shock, his heart breaking because he couldn't believe his mother was truly gone. As the service ended and everyone began to leave, the father, Philippe, told his son to go home. In that moment, Philippe knew deep down that he should stay and comfort his boy, but he chose his business meeting over his family. He turned his back and left. Fast forward a year later, and we meet a man named Sammy. Sammy had a bit of a struggle. He had a bad arm, but man was he confident. He was a natural-born salesman who could sell a two-headed robe at a high price by claiming it was a fancy import. But his luck ran out when the police showed up and seized all his stock, calling his imported goods illegal. Sammy went home with a heavy heart. His wife was devastated because he had borrowed 3,000 euros just to buy that stock. To make things more stressful, she was pregnant and their house was falling apart. Sammy knew he had to find a real job, but with his bad hand, it wasn't easy. Eventually, he managed to land a gig as a night security guard at a local mall. Meanwhile, back at the mansion, Alex's birthday was coming up. Philippe asked him what he wanted for a gift, but Alex, acting cold and mature way beyond his years, just said nothing and walked away. Ever since his mom died, Alex had completely shut himself off from the world. Later that night, Sammy started his shift. The next morning, the mall was empty because Philippe had literally cleared the place out so Alex could pick out any toy he wanted as a gift. Poor Sammy was so exhausted from his shift that he had fallen asleep on a shelf right next to a Hulk statue. When he woke up and saw the billionaire owner coming, he panicked. He tried to climb down, got tangled in a net, and accidentally set off his pepper spray. It was a total mess, but Alex was watching. Instead of being annoyed, Alex was fascinated. He looked at his manager and gave a strange order. "I want to buy him." The mall owner was shocked. "Humans aren't for sale," he said, but Alex wouldn't take no for an answer. Seeing an opportunity, the boss took Sammy aside and said, "Look, you can earn big money. Play with this kit for a day, and I'll give you 1,000 euros. Sammy needed the cash, so he agreed. But when Alex's men tried to literally pack Sammy into a giant toy box, Sammy lost it. "I'm not a toy or an animal. I'm a human being," he shouted. The boss pulled him back. "Do you know who that is?" "That's Philippe's son. He could buy this whole mall 10 times over. If you get in the box, you can ask for whatever you want." Sammy thought about his debt and his baby and said, "I want 3,000 euros. The deal was struck. Sammy was packed into the box and delivered to Alex's room. When the box opened, Sammy was blown away by the luxury. Alex just said, "Follow me!" and disappeared down a giant slide. When Sammy hesitated, the guards literally pushed him down after the kid. They spent the day in a high-tech playroom. At first, Sammy just joked around, but when he saw how serious Alex was, he played to win. By the end of the day, they were actually having fun. When Philippe got home and saw the video of Sammy coming out of a box, he was upset. He ordered it deleted immediately, fearing a scandal. But deep down, he felt guilty that his son treated people like objects. He felt so bad for Sammy that he invited him to dinner. Sammy sat at the massive table, watching Philippe and Alex eat in total icy silence. When Sammy tasted the food, he actually got emotional. He realized that these people eat like kings every day, but they are absolutely miserable. Alex cut his birthday cake without a word. Philippe gave a stiff, happy birthday, and that was it. As Sammy was leaving with his money, Philippe stopped him. "Please, stay for a few more days," he begged. "My son is talking again for the first time since his mother died." Sammy tried to refuse, saying he wasn't a toy, but then Philippe made an offer he couldn't ignore, 14,000 euros a week. Sammy took a 10,000 euro advance and went home to see his wife. When he pulled up in a luxury car, the neighbors were buzzing. His wife was furious, demanding to know where he'd been. Sammy made up a story to calm her down, and when she saw the check, she finally believed him. But as he left, he saw his neighbors, who had been fired by Philippe's company, protesting in the streets. Back at the mansion, things got weird. Alex treated the next day like a business meeting and told Sammy the game was the rabbit and the dogs. Sammy was supposed to wear a rabbit suit and be chased by real dogs. Sammy was terrified. "I'm a toy, not bait," he argued, but the staff reminded him he'd already taken the money. Sammy did it, but he was so angry that he quit on the spot. I'm leaving, and I'm giving the money back," he yelled. But when he got home, he found his wife had already spent the money on new appliances and food for her friends. He was stuck. That night, he felt his baby move in his wife's stomach, and his heart melted. He knew he had to go back for the sake of his child. When he returned, Alex was still angry. To break the ice, Sammy jumped into a bathtub and started splashing him. For the first time in a year, Alex burst out laughing. They ran into one of Philippe's serious business meetings, soaking wet and giggling. Philippe didn't get mad. He silenced his guests just to hear his son laugh. The next evening, Sammy took Alex to the garden to watch the sunset. Suddenly, Alex got sad and ran to a hidden treehouse. This was his mom's place. He showed Sammy her picture and cried, telling him how she was sent away to the US when she was sick and came back dead. Sammy felt his pain and told jokes until Alex was smiling again. Sammy then found Philippe and told him, "You need to walk barefoot sometimes. A child who lost his mother needs his father." Philippe was offended that a poor man was giving him life advice, but later that night, he saw Sammy, Alex, and the staff cheering at a football game. He realized he was missing out. He tried to join in, but it was awkward. Sammy even tried to teach Philippe how to hug, saying, "The tighter you hold, the closer you feel." One night, Alex had a nightmare and crawled into bed next to Sammy for comfort. When Philippe saw them the next morning, he felt a sharp pang of jealousy. He had never been that close to his own son. In a fit of anger and insecurity, he fired Sammy. Alex was devastated. He begged his dad to bring Sammy back, but Philippe refused. In a quiet act of rebellion, Alex took his minicar and followed Sammy out of the estate. Sammy tried to send him back, but Alex insisted on staying. When Philippe realized Alex was missing, he panicked and started firing everyone, including the loyal bodyguard. But Alex was perfectly happy. He was at Sammy's house, helping his wife and playing with the neighborhood kids. He loved it. Sammy gave Alex a simple book for his birthday, and Alex cherished it more than any expensive toy. Eventually, Philippe tracked them down. He took Alex back and threatened Sammy, telling him never to see his son again. But then, the video of Sammy in the toy box went viral. Sammy's wife saw it and was ashamed. "You sold your dignity," she told him, kicking him out of the house. Philippe realized he was losing his son's heart. He decided they would move to Japan to start over. But Alex made a condition. Philippe had to fix what he broke. So, Philippe rehired all the workers he had fired and gave them a raise. During the celebration, Sammy's wife went into labor. Philippe and Alex were at the airport, but they couldn't leave. Philippe apologized for being a bad father. Alex revealed that Sammy wasn't gone. He had been hiding him in the treehouse all along. They rushed to the hospital, flying Sammy there in a helicopter just in time. Sammy came out of the delivery room and announced he had a daughter. Everyone was overjoyed. Sammy even let Alex hold the baby. As they left the hospital, Philippe pulled into a parking lot. He looked at Alex, remembered Sammy's advice, and took off his shoes. "Let's walk barefoot," he said. As they walked and talked, Alex shared his dream. He and Sammy wanted to open a factory to make simple, fun toys, just like the ones at Sammy's house. Philippe smiled and agreed. The film ends with a father and son finally walking together, truly happy.